Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming back for another edition of the Nova Armory Cleaning and Armor Services series. Today we've got a SIG Sauer P365. As always, we're going to verify that this firearm does not have a magazine in the magazine well. We're also going to go ahead and flip that over, lock the slide to the rearward position, and ensure that there is both a visual and digital inspection. There's nothing in our chamber, so we do have a clear firearm at the moment. We're going to go ahead and start by flipping our takedown switch here to the unlock position, and then releasing the slide, pulling it off the frame. We're going to set the frame down here, remove the recoil spring and guide rod assembly. We're going to go ahead and push the barrel out of the lock position, moving it forward, pulling it back out. Now we've got the firearm broken down into a basic field strip. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the barrel, inspect the bore. As it stands, this bore doesn't seem to be too dirty, so we'll go ahead and give it a quick blast of CLP, which is foaming. That's why it bubbles up like that. Always make sure you've got a paper towel or something on your work surface to contain any of your solvent that comes through. As you can see, it's dripping down there. So we're going to start with our bore snake into the chamber, dropping it down. And then you can see the section here, the bronze brushes. We're going to pull that through. It's going to scrape out deposits, and then it's also going to mop up any of the solvent that we've used. So we've run our bore snake through, we'll set that aside, and now we've got a nice clean bore. Set our barrel aside for now. Next step is we're going to move on to our slide. As you can see, this one's got a nice silver streak here on the towards the end of the breech block, so it's nice and clean already. We'll give it a little wipe down with some of that excess CLP that came out of the barrel, pulling out a little bit of carbon from our slide rails. I'm going to go ahead and use a nylon brush on this one to loosen up any other carbon deposits we have and get into those slide rails, because they can be hard to reach with a paper towel. Give it a little wipe down in the hood of the slide here. Right here on the surface where the barrel protrudes from the front. And then of course we want to pay a little bit of attention to the breech face itself right here where the shell rests, or the base of the shell rests when it is chambered. And there we go, we've got a nice wipe down on our slides, looking good. Set that off to the side. Of course, we're always going to go ahead and do a basic wipe down with some of that excess solvent again on our recoil guide rod and spring assembly. As you can see, that's the residue that came off of our guide rod and spring assembly. Now, using some Slip 2000 enhanced weapon lubricant, we're going to go ahead and give the barrel a light coating, one drop. Spread it evenly throughout the barrel, one drop on the locking face of the barrel. This will be reinserted into our slide. We go ahead and take our recoil guide rod assembly, reinsert that, make sure it's nice and tight against our barrel. And now we're going to go ahead and place some more lubricant on the slide rails here and here. These, unlike the P320 and the Glock that we've covered in previous videos, are solid pieces that run the length of the receiver here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put a decent amount of lubricant there, decent amount there, kind of spread that back a little bit and ensure that our takedown switch is in this position. The 365 can be a little bit tricky sometimes. You might have to lift your slide stop up to get your takedown switch to stay where it's supposed to be. Move that to the rearward position. Ensure that this piece here, if you pull the trigger, you can see this little silver piece here moving up. That will keep the slide from moving rearward. So you want to push that down. Take the slide to the rearward position. Make sure your takedown switch is up. All right, so here we've got a cleaned, lubricated P365. Go ahead and close the slide. Do a function check. Seems to function fine. Wipe off excess solvent from the exterior, ensuring that we have a nice grip on the firearm. And there you have it, clean, lubricated P365. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping in for another edition of the Nova Armory Armor and Cleaning Services video series. Hope to see you back here for our next video. Thank you.